everybody, Allison here. I am the Director of Risk Tolerance as well as an options specialist at Simpler Trading. And in today's video, I actually want to go through Apple, in particular on the weekly time frame. And then the reason why is, just like the market, Apple too has been selling off back down. And we find ourselves getting close to a weekly support. But in particular, what is catching my eye on this chart is the fact that we are attempting to print a true low for the week. The last time that we saw this true low signal print was back in October on the weekly time frame. And the idea, for those of you who don't know about the true low signal, the idea is that you are supposed to be able to help identify the quote unquote discount price, right? The potential bottom before the next drive to the upside, right? The next bullish trend higher. So here, for example, we had the true low print back at October during this pullback. And then we had a beautiful run up going into the end of the year. Back here in March, this signal also printed an overall short-term run up as well as the longer-term bullish trend. Then prior to that, it hadn't printed since 2019. And you can see here it printed right around these bars. And that, of course, was a great entry for the longer-term move. And none of these, right, were bad spots to consider buying in shares, of course, because even with the pullback that we're currently in, at least as of right now, we still have not gotten back down to this 140 price level. So the fact that I'm starting to see this print again, right, on top of a low compression squeeze, on top of the momentum, which was towards the top of the axis earlier, now resetting right back down to that zero line, all of this is looking good. Of course, the overall bullish trend, the Bollinger Bands are actually consolidating with the price. They're not like flaring open, anticipating a further sell-off, right? They're holding up quite nicely. We have the ATR trailing stop just a little bit more below this at 145. But all of this, right, is looking good for the potential buying opportunity. Now, keep in mind that, there's a lot of uncertainty with this market, right? Keep in mind that any sort of news might flip this the other direction, of course. So we have to be mindful of our risk to start off with. But I actually don't mind the idea of going out to something like May or even June, right? Definitely past the next earnings announcement, so May or June, and going out here and buying an out of the money long call, right? Maybe something like the 170 or 175 strike. Those are, relatively inexpensive depending on your capital risk. If you just did a one lot at the 175 for 305, right? That's not too much for 94 days out in time. And the idea is that it gives us a chance to maybe sit through a bit more of a chop or maybe a little bit more of a pullback. But as long as support holds here, right, this looks like the place to be the quote unquote discount buy, right, that 90% off deal, to then be able to play it back up into resistance or higher. And oftentimes with these moves, we at least short term go back into the prior highs, right, if not exceed them. Here, we went back up towards the prior highs, had to sit through a little bit more chop, but ultimately, if you maintain this trade through the squeeze, right, you got the longer term bullish sentiment. So the idea, of course, here is that if we do go up to at least test by the prior highs, that should put us right around 180. So if we do something like the 175 strike, right, for a 305 cost basis, the idea is even if it took us all the way into June, that strike should be in the money and allow for a profit. And of course, as we saw back in October, right, this move happened pretty quickly the last time to where we were nicely in the money well before that. So I would want to make sure to give ourselves plenty of time in this market to, be able to sit through maybe a little bit more chop than we would want to for the next bull run to the upside. But I really like how this is starting to set up. So as long as this can continue to maintain support, as long as these Bollinger Bands don't start to flare open, and most importantly, right, I would really like to see this pink triangle print on the true low indicator. So if this is how it's looking going into the close this week, I think this could be starting to set up for a long-term buy opportunity for Apple to at least play into resistance, if not to play for the next run in this overall bullish trend. So that is what I wanted to highlight here for you guys today. As always, my fellow Jedis, may the trade be with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye. Hey, Allison Ostrander here, Director of Risk Tolerance at Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and comment down below to help us out. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you can get notified when we release our next video. And if you want to watch us trade in real time using our own money, go to simplertrading.com to learn how to sign up. As always, may the trade be with you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.